Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha. Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha. Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Phalachandro Gajananaha. Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha. Skandapurvajaha. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Yasyadhyavajavaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vighnam Nigbhanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamastraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishna Dvaipaya Namjasam Sarva Bhuta Hiteratam Vedabhyabhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Janmadhyasya Yataha Anvayat Itaratascha Artheshu Abhiddha Swarat Tene Brahma Hridayaha Adikavaye Mukhyanti Yat Surayaha Tejovari Mrudam Yatha Vidimayo Yatritri Sargo Brisham Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharmaha Prochida Kaitavotra Paramo Nirbat Saranam Satam Vedhyam Bhaktavam Akravastu Sivadam Taptatrayon Molanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva Parairisvaraha Sadhyo Hrudi Avarudyatehe Atra Krutivihi Sukshuvihi Takshanate Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Palam Sukamukat Amrita Drava Samyutam Pivata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasikaha Bhuvi Bhavukaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Now with Bhagavan's grace, let us continue from where we left. We came up to yesterday. We came up to 32, Slokam 32, Adhyayam 29, in Skandam number 3. And the subject matter that we are talking of is now the Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavan, again, quickly reviewing it, says, yes, worshipping the form is fine, but you must do it the right way, which is in addition to worshipping the form, you must discharge your duties sincerely. The duties being serving the society with the mindset that the same indweller in you is present in everybody else. Because the important thing is Sarva Bhuteshu Bhutatmanam Krutalayam. Very important. Now, that to practice that, the question comes, where exactly are you present, Swami, in everybody? How is it? Right, then Swami explains here what we call in English as the spiritual evolution. Okay, the Darwin theory and all that, these are all the earlier being taught in our Sanatana culture many thousands of years before that. And in English now, I call it spiritual evolution. The question that was asked yesterday, what does it mean? With the word used of Sreshtaha, Varaha, this is better than that, this is better than that. What it really means is that in the stage of spiritual evolution, okay, number of things we talked about: inanimate objects, objects with life, objects with consciousness, objects meaning beings with consciousness, and then sense perception. Under sense perception, what is the difference between touch, smell, and rasam and taste and all that. And then the further we came to in the Slokam number 31, I believe it was. Let me just make sure. Slokam 30, the understanding the form. After that, then beyond that are the beings with two sets of teeth, two rows of teeth, and then among them the beings with many legs, then the beings with 4 legs, and then finally beings with two legs, which is human being. Among the human beings, Bhagavan taught us there are four varnas. And among the four varnas, which again emphasizing it's a division based upon labor, that in consonance with one's characteristic and the type of work that he does. These are the two important things, the conduct and the type of work, nothing to do with birth. In that, the type of work that people do, the Varna Brahminic work is the best, which is tremendous discipline, etc. But we're not going into details on that. Basically, guiding the society to Bhagavan. That's basically what a Brahmin does, by his teachings as well as by his conduct. Then among the Brahmins, people who have studied the Vedas are actually even more evolved. Among those people who have studied the Vedas, even the people who have understood the meaning, without any doubt, absolute clarity, they are even more evolved than the people who have just studied the Vedas. Then beyond all this, even more than this, are those who carry or discharge their duties, the work in the most sincere manner, in the proper prescribed manner of doing it as work, as worship, offering it to Bhagavan, and also not desiring the result of the work, Nishkama Karma. They are better. Up to that point we came. Then, Slokam number 33, continuing, superior. Superior here means it's more evolved. Like a seed becomes a fruit. A fruit is the final evolution, isn't it? It becomes so sweet it is. Same way, this process of evolution, the spiritual evolution, the final product is sweetness. Madhuram only, where only there is no selfishness and it is nothing but sweetness in a person's conduct, in a person's behavior, person's thinking process, words, etc., etc. That ultimate sweetness which is Madhuram. That is the final thing. For that, the superior to even those people who do Nishkama Karma is the devotee who has unconditionally surrendered all his actions and their result together, which is body and mind, to me. Not worried about whether this is papam or punyam, what is going to happen, am I doing the right thing, am I not doing the right thing, what is the best thing to do. None of those things, honestly speaking, I really do not know. As Swami Vivekananda very beautifully said in his speech, very important lesson, the important thing to know is that I do not know. So then I surrender. That unconditionally, non-conditionally surrendered means, Swami says, you know what surrender is. Surrender, one hand it is extremely easy, but on the other hand, it is like a huge, very difficult, because it must be prepared, accepting whatever comes my way as Bhagavan Prasadam and not be disturbed, either up or down, what we call as good or bad. No, none of those effect at all. Everything is Bhagavan Prasadam. It's happening for my best, not only for my good, but what is best for me. That is why it's happening to me. That is Bhagavan Prasadam. With that my mental attitude, instead of trying to say, is it my karma phalam and etc., all those things, forget all that. Sarvadharman Parityajya, leave away all those discussions and charchaigal and dialogues and conversations and all that. Surrender to me, that's all. Mam ekam saranam raja. To me only you should surrender. Then I will free you. Remove all your papangal. Do not worry. So, another way is give all your burdens to me, is what Bhagavan says. Don't carry anything. Why? Give everything to me. Your successes, accomplishments, your regrets, your failures, humiliations, praises, and the derision that you receive, your wealth, everything you don't take it as burden. Give it to me. Give everything to me. That's what he says. There's so many ways Bhagavan describes surrender, but that is the essence of Slokam 33. But so Bhagavan continues, I do not find anyone superior to such a person who has surrendered his actions and his self along with all his belongings to me. Such a person sees me everywhere and is free from the egoistic sense that he is the doer. then that feeling is absent finally. That is why karma palatyagam, my ahankaram is present, isn't it? I am offering this to you, Swami. I am offering this to you. And slowly, I begin to realize the work is doing me. Bhagavan is refining me through the work. But still the feeling of I sense is there, the ahankaram. Even that goes away when I surrender. And that is why it is better, it is superior, more evolved. Slokam number 33. That was the overall meaning of that. Tasmate mayi arpita asesha kriyarthatma nirantaraha mayi arpitatmanaha pumsaha mayi sanniyasta karmanaha na pasyami param bhutam akartuhu samadarsanate. Tasmat mayi arpita asesha kriyarthatma nirantaraha mayi arpitatmanaha pumsaha mayi sanniyasta karmanaha na pasyami param bhutam akartuhu samadarsanate. Pada arthangal, Slokam 33. Tasmat, compared to even better than that guy, that person, that human being who was doing Nishkama Karma, right? Carrying out all his activities beautifully, all his work, okay? Without any complaint, with tremendous enthusiasm, doing work as worship and serving everybody to the best of his ability, mentally and physically, right? And Tasmat, even better than him, Mayi Arpita Asesha, Mayi Arpita, Mayi Arpita Mano Buddhihi, Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, right? And so, if you go back, we have covered all those slokams from the Bhagavad Gita. That's why I'm not taking it up again. So, same thing. Both your mind, your buddhi, everything, you give it to me. Okay? And then another place, my arpita mano buddhihi, how he does his job. Okay? So, the that is a matkarbakit matkaramo madbhaktaha. That slokam that you can check. It is right there. So here, Tasmat, even compared to him, better than him, Mayi Arpita Asesha. Asesha means without any residue. Nothing is left. Mayi Arpita means completely, totally in me. Kriya Arthatma. Kriya Artha Atma. Kriya, action. Artha, the fruits, the results from it. Atma, the body. The body includes here, Atma also refers to body. Atma also refers to the mind, the Antakaranam. And of course the indweller, depending on where it is used. Here, it means the body, the action, the sense of doership, the mind, the buddhi, everything, the Asesha Arpita, without any residue, totally offered to me. And he has done that. Then Nirantaraha. Nirantaram, it means eternal. It's one colloquial word that we use, right? Something that does not change. It's always what it is. What is it? That is, in this case, it means that attitude, the mind blossoming like that is permanent. That is the best is always with me. Mayi Arpita Atmanaha. Again, it is the next one. Mayi Arpita Atmanaha. The one with his mind offered to me, that person, Mayi Sanyasta Karmanaha. One who has offered and placed all his actions in me, Mayi Sanyasta Karmanaha. Akartuhu Sanyasta Karmanaha. Akartuhu. Now, Akartuhu, very important. There is, see, when you are doing an action, or when I'm saying that I'm speaking, I'm doing this, whatever, or speaking to you right now, I feel that I'm speaking to you. It's not actually that. It is the action of speaking and going through this Bhagavata Slokam. That particular action is doing me. Please understand that. I'm not doing it, but the action is doing me. That action is the prasadam given to me by Bhagavan in order to purify me, in order to refine me, in order to make me progress in the spiritual path. Any action, it is not only sharing Bhagavad Slokam, even sweeping and cleaning the toilet, for example. That work that I'm doing, that's the work given to me by Bhagavan to purify me, to refine me. The work is always doing me as part of a refining process. This is the Bhagavan's Daya. This is how Bhagavan is, Swami is taking each one of us back to him, back home. Now, having said that, but I do one piece of work, you are now listening on the other end. After the session is over, what do? You're doing some other work, isn't it? So work doesn't seem to end. It keeps on coming one after another, one after another, one after another. Why? Because my refinement process is not complete. The job of a piece of work is not to be done. The work doesn't need me to do it. The job of the work that is given to me is to refine me. Till I get refined, the work will keep on coming. Now, if my refinement is 100%, the mind is very pure, that means, and there's no ego that I am doing this. Even ahamkaram, that is why Swami says, in explaining the Charama Slokam, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja, that is the final teaching of Bhagavad Gita. After doing everything, including the slokam before that, it's also extremely powerful. Extremely. Manmana bhava, bhatto, matyaji, mam namat kuru. Like everything he says. Okay, but in spite of that, says, whatever you do, there is a tinge of ahamkaram is always present. Whatever it is, think about it. Whatever the tinge of ahamkaram is present. So that means it is not 100% pure. So the ahamkaram also has to go. And to do that is why Swami says, Mamekam Sharanam Pracha Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyoho Moksham Ishyami. So even that final residue of the ahamkaram, I will remove it. That is why surrender to me is very important. There is no need to get into intellectual gyrations and all that. They all will put us in a detour. So, for a person now who has done Mayi Arpita Asesha Kriyarthatma, Mayi Arpita Atmanaha, Mayi Sanyasta Karmanaha, then Akartuhu. Once the requirement for being refined by action is over, there's no more requirement. That means I have done I fulfilled all my actions. Fulfillment of all actions is kartrutvam. It is called kartrutvam, completion of all actions, fulfillment. Then that is when the actions, there's no bondage between me and the actions. I may still continue doing action, but that will be no bondage at all, no connections. Okay, I'm not shackled to actions. So once all actions are completed. So here, akartuhu means one who has no bondage to action, no need to do any action. That is Bhagavan. Okay, very important. It's karma, vikarma, and akarma. Okay, the easiest thing is akarma is a witness who is present. As an example, I'm saying. Okay, the conscious witness that we all know, is present within us. That's not doing anything at all. Okay, no need to do anything. But still, Bhagavan does everything, comes as Avatar Purusham, shows us the way down, and without any bondage. So that area, that stage is called Akartuhu. Absolutely no attachment to creation at all. Only in with Creator. That is Nirantaram. That person, Mayi Sanyasta Karmanaha Akartuhu, Samadarsanat. For everywhere he sees the only one being. Everywhere. Doesn't matter whether it is an inanimate object or whether it is a being with 1,000 legs or whether it is 4 legs or 2 legs or whether it's the being that can recognize only form or taste. It really doesn't matter. Or a dog or a water, I've been putting in examples I'm saying, or a crow or a bird or whatever it may be. He sees only one, the oneness of everything, the various differences in forms and all that doesn't matter. The shining Chaitanyam, the effulgence is what he sees. Samadarshana. That Pumsaha, that man, Tasmat Purushaha, that Purusha, that Tasmat is better than the other person, Vishkama Karma and all that. This Purushaha, who offers everything to me, completely surrendered to me, right? And thereby has no bondage to action, no bondage to results, and no bondage to ahamkaram. And with that free thing, he's got Samadarsanam. That Pumsaha, Param Bhutam Na Pasyami. Better than that person, I don't see anyone. Okay, Na Pasyami is what Kapila Bhagavan says. So he is the best. Tasmat Mai Arpita Ashesha Kriyarthatma Nirantaraha Mai Arpita Atmanaha Pumsaha Mai Sanyasta Karpanaha Na Pasyami Param Bhutam Akartuhu Samadarsanat. So he is truly an Akarta, which means one with one. And I don't see anybody that Pumsaha Param Na Pasyami. Better than that Purushan, that human being, Na Pasyami, I do not see. Next one, number 34. Now, 34 and 35 we will take up today, with Swami's grace, hopefully. Then 34 is overall meaning first, and then I will speak the slokam. It is the amsam. See, amsam does not mean a quantitative division. Please. It's not like a droplet of something. Bhagavan, whether it's a droplet or whether it's a huge ocean, the essence is one and the same. That is what amsam means, really. Okay. Mamai vamso jivaloke sarvabhuta sanatanaha. Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamai vamso, mama eva amsaha. It's only my amsam that is present. That essence, the amsam is essence, and that is nothing but prema. If you just experience one drop of prema, some very small consoling word from someone, or a whiff of gentle breeze, or somebody when you're suffering too much, somebody comes and gives you a hug. There are so many ways that the tremendous selflessness people do, lots of love pouring out. So ways it is, right? But everywhere the essence is one and the same. It is no more, no less. So that amsam that is present in Bhagavan, in everything, as jiva. The jiva means the embodied atma, the embodiments or the various forms that Bhagavan talked about. Indweller he calls it jiva. And knowing this, one must revere and salute and worship everybody, all beings, mentally. Even a cockroach that comes in, Swami, cockroach, no. Swami, you are present like this. Okay? And try and move the cockroach outside, it's alive. Or if you have to, by Bhagavan's grace, if I have to be the instrument for killing it, offer that to Bhagavan. It's not easy. These kind of things are not easy. So, That does not mean, again, you go and be friendly with the tiger. Please understand, two different. This is why we have to use discrimination. But you must worship mentally. It's the same indweller present there. That's a mental practice that I must do. That is Slokam number 34. Manasaitani. So, Manasa etani bhutani pranamete bahu manayan. See, bahu manayan, very important. It's very much respect. Okay? Isvaro jiva kalaya pravishtaha Bhagavan iti. Manasa etani bhutani pranamete bahu manayan. Isvaraha jiva kalaya pravishtaha Bhagavan iti. Manasaitani bhutani pranamet bahumanayan. Isvaro jiva kalaya pravishto Bhagavan iti. The Yetani bhutani, all these beings, forget the spiritual evolution, this is better than that, that is better than that. These are all mind-related. And it has been given to understand that I, having been born as a human being, I have reached the pinnacle in this creation process. Having reached it, if I do not conduct myself accordingly, then I have wasted it. Look at it that way. Beyond that, no need to worry about it. The main message is not the lesson on spiritual evolution, taste is better than smell, etc., all those things we talked about. They're all not, to me personally, they're not relevant. Absolutely not relevant. What is relevant is this one. Yetani bhutani, all these beings, okay. Let's take the second line first, because this one is in action. The first one explains what it is. Isvaraha Bhagavan iti jiva kalaya pravishtaha. That's a Sanskrit statement, a sentence, okay. Isvaraha Bhagavan iti Isvaraha Bhagavan jiva kalaya pravishtaha. That's the statement. What does it say? Isvaraha. Isvaraha Bhagavan, the most effulgent master and controller of this one entity, prema, Sathya, dharma, whatever way I want to think of him. That Bhagavan, okay, jiva kalaya pravishtaha. He is the one who is present as the indweller in all beings. Bhagavan is the one who is present as the indweller in all beings, regardless of whether it is a piece of stone or a hill or a mountain or a bird, it doesn't matter. Or the sun that we see every day or the stars that shine, it really does not matter. Isvaraha Bhagavan jiva kalaya pravishtaha. We can remember that. Iti, thus. This is very important. Thinking thus. Iti, thus. Etani bhutani. All these beings, manasa, bhagu manayanne. Manasa, in the mind, with the mind, bhagu manayan, with tremendous respect and reverence. Pranamete, I must worship. Mentally, I must worship Bhagavan who is present in all beings. The statement of truth is that it's the same Isvaraha Bhagavan jiva kalaya pravishtaha etani bhutani manasa bahumanayanne pranamete. This is a mental exercise I must develop. Manasaitani bhutani pranamet bahumanayanne Isvaraha jiva kalaya pravishto Bhagavan iti. After describing all this, how fantastically Swami concludes this. He talked about surrender, he talked about Nishkama Karma, he talked about Ashtanga Yoga, everything, creation, so many things. But the final slokam is, all these beings, the same Bhagavan is present. Keep this in your mind. Therefore, respect them, worship them, treat them with reverence in your mind. So, it is a mental exercise. Manmana bhava, manasa bhajare. This is very important. Now, final 35 will take up for today, and then the next section is a different section. Okay. In 35, what Swami says, after the lesson that we are being taught is something incredible. If you go back and review, which I hope that Bhagavan wants, he can do. Bhagavan will say, not wants, will say will do it. It's amazing lesson. You will not get it anywhere else. What Kapila Muni has taught so far is unbelievable. Now, 35. Then he says, Swami says, O daughter of Manu, Manavi. Manavi. We also think Manavi means a student, a girl student, right? Manavi. But Manavi is actually daughter of Manu. Okay? And also the mana, from a mind as well as it is to be very respected. You see? Manayanne, that means something who has to be respected, revered. All these meanings are there in the word Manavi. He says, Manavi, the daughter of Manu. Now, I have not finished speaking about the two yogas, the Ashtanga Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga. You could say Ashtanga Yoga, the Yoga of knowledge, whatever. These are all different terms. Actually, it's Ashtanga Yoga and this, okay, Jnanam and everything we spoke about. You can call it as Jnanam also, Jnana Yoga. And this is Bhakti Yoga. You wanted, I described this to you in detail. Now, man attains the supreme, the final goal, by resorting to either one of these. This is important to understand. Okay, very important to understand. They are not different. See, the pathway, we may call it different, but it's one and the same, because what happens to the quality of the journey, not the path I'm going, but the quality of the journey is one and the same, which is what Bhagavan says, right? We saw that in Bhakti Yoga in the beginning, form versus formless worship. Doesn't matter, both are the same, but your mind must be fully placed in me. Mind, the buddhi and the ahamkaram, everything. Once they are placed in me, what difference does it make whether you call it Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga? These are all our names, our name. So either one, either pathway, whichever way you start, okay, that is good. So long as you do it correctly, you will reach me. Bhakti yogascha maya manavi udiritaha yayoho ekatarena yeva purushaha purusham vrajete. Bhakti yogascha maya manavi udiritaha yayoho ekatarena yeva purushaha purusham vrajete. This is the indescribable compassion of our rishis and elders and Bhagavan, who has given us so many pathways for us to embark on, hold on to. Okay, whatever I like, I can take. But then the teaching is how I do it. It's always how. Mind should be placed here. Then automatically the goal is reached. So here the Swami says, 35, Manavi, the daughter of Manu, okay. In this case it is daughter of Manu because it is Devavati is talking of. Manavi, Yayoho. Yayoho means which. It's a plural. What has been taught? The Ashtanga Yogam has been taught. Bhakti Yogam has been taught, right? And a part of Ashtanga Yogam, Swami took us to Dhyanam, and then from Dhyanam to Samadhi, right? So starting from Yamam and Niyamam and all that. Right? Ultimately, that the Dhyanam is revealed. Knowledge. Same thing through Bhakti Yogam. Vasudevaha Sarvam Iti. The same God, same Bhagavan is present to everybody. So worship that, do your duty that way. At the same time, do your form worship, no problem. But also serve and worship all others, every being as embodiment of the same divinity. The same Murti Vigraham I worship in the Garbhagraham or in the puja room is exactly what is present in a cockroach. No different. I must develop my mind that way. So that way, Yayoho. So in these, which Bhakti Yogam, Ashtanga Yogam have been taught to you, from those, Ekatarena Yeva, just by taking one of them. Okay, Ekatarena Yeva, only. You don't need to do all. Just take one. And Ekatarena Yeva, Purushaha, the human being, Purusham Rajayat. This Purusham is the indweller. The one that Purusha Suktam talks about. This Purusham, to that Purusham, in that Purusham, Rajayat, he will attain. Whichever path that the human being attains the supreme, becomes divinity itself, then he says, Yayoho, which yogam? He describes Bhakti Yogascha, Yogaha cha, that Bhakti Yogam and Yogam. Yogaha cha is Ashtanga Yogam here. Maya, by me, Vidhi has been taught. By whichever one that you take, among whatever has been taught to you, by picking one of those, and by picking whichever one, that the human being attains divinity itself, becomes divine, that Bhakti Yogam and Ashtanga Yogam have been taught to you by me. So this is in clear, direct answer to Devahuti's question right in the beginning, if you go back. The same way Uddhava talks about to Maitreya and all that, about creation and all this, the intellectual curiosity is taken care of first. How did this creation come about? Then, Swami, this is Prakriti, so now I'm a Purushan, I'm a human being. But then there is a Purusha, Bhagavan is there. So what is the relationship between the three? That has also been taught. Then the key lesson, yes, all these are there, but why are you only focused on the indweller, the Kshetrajnaha? Now how to do that? Okay. Then Bhagavan described the Ashtanga Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga. This has been taught to you. Now there's one more question that Devahuti asked. She said, Swami, you must also teach me what this time is. What is this column? You say column, time, what is it? So that Bhagavan is going to teach next. In from Slokam 36 onwards. With His grace, we will take that up in our next session. Now let me read this final Slokam again. Bhakti yogascha maya manavi udiritaha yayoho ekatarena yeva purushaha purusham vrajet. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukino Bhavantu. Om Santit Santit Santit. Harihi Om.